subscribe, 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 subscribe to Aquatic Bobs. Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Subscribe!
Appies?
Alright, hey guys, Aquatic Bobs here, doing another little video tonight. I've had something on my mind today, and first I just want to say thank you guys. A lot of you guys know I've had a rough last week, and man, I was kind of nervous making a video talking about what's going on with my wife and I, and then my dad and having cancer, but man, some of you guys left some of the nicest comments, and so many of them in just a day. And boy, do I appreciate that. So thank you guys. Thank you for your support with the channel. Thank you for the encouragement. Thanks for the prayers. And yeah, it is a tough time, but I'm not going to quit. And you know, that's actually something I wanted to do a video about for a while, is how much this hobby has actually helped me in life too. And it's given me a good passion, a healthy passion, where I used to struggle with some addiction issues and just a lot of pride, anger, some bad issues. And you know, getting into this hobby has really helped me to step away from that and really just change my heart too. And I think God's allowed it to just be a beacon of hope in my life. So even as frustrated as my wife gets with me sometimes, I think at the end of the day she really gets it. She really understands, and we both appreciate the tank together now. So thank you guys for that support. Thanks for the subscriptions, the likes, and the comments. And like I said, just gonna keep going, keep rolling with it, keep growing, keep helping others. And so that's what my video is going to be about tonight, is what I've learned from nutrients and raising my nitrates, trying to raise my phosphates a little bit. I know it's been the age-old battle in the hobby, is how do I get my nitrates and phosphates as close to zero as possible. But lately, over the last couple of years, all of a sudden these videos are coming out how to elevate nutrients in a reef tank for color and for overall coral health. And so I'll just start by saying there's one downside to elevated nutrients, and studies are showing that it actually will slow down coral growth in some cases. So when my nutrients, I did notice this specifically, so I can speak to this with my own experience, is that lower nutrients in my tank, when my nitrates were near zero and my phosphates were 0.02, I noticed growth, just crazy growth. In fact, there was a time where this acropora, it grew so fast that I literally thought that the color couldn't keep up with it. And that was true in two cases. This is a Carolina Reaper acropora, Top Shelf Aquatics Carolina Reaper. Super pretty coral, and it's definitely starting to get some nice color now. I'm very excited about it. But it was growing so fast. Over a month, it like almost tripled in size. I was looking at my pictures the other day, and I thought it was growing so fast. The whole thing was like white. The colors just couldn't keep up. And so after doing some more research and study and finally piecing the pieces together, I figured out, well, it was growing quick, so you know, the zooxanthella and everything reproducing and expanding was kind of slowed down, but also because my nutrients were so low, the zooxanthella and the coral tissue itself was just having a hard time keeping up, because it wasn't being fed. And I mean, the light is 80% of a coral's food, right? So photosynthetic coral, 80% of their food source is light. But that other 20% really can make a huge difference, especially when you're in the middle of a major growth spurt, and feeding the coral and giving it a nitrate supply and phosphate supply can really help that zooxanthella to really flourish. And I'm not a scientist by any means, but you guys in the hobby, you get what I'm saying. And I'm learning. I've been studying about it, learning about lighting and colors and what temperature each color represents. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys, because if you're really looking for fast growth more than anything, I'll tell you, I think your best bet is to bring your nutrients down and keep them stable and keep them down, but still feed the tank. You know, just have heavy export. That's the rule. That's my greatest rule with nutrients now, is heavy in, very heavy out, right? So we don't want our tank to get so bombarded down and bogged down. Look at this guy just pooping right now. All his mouths are open. It's a sign. Yeah, that guy, just so bummed about him. Just so bummed. I keep thinking that there's hope and I haven't taken him out, but that's what 2-day shipping can do. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, faster growth, lower nutrients with stability. Now, if your corals are just not growing and your nutrients are low, that means that there's other problems with your water chemistry, salinity, temperature swings, alkalinity. There's some kind of issue going on with your tank. Could be any number of things, but if your water is healthy and stable, then and your nutrients are low, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to see some great growth. But if you want the colors to pop out and you want colors to just fluoresce and get colors that you saw in the picture when you originally bought it, I would raise those nutrients up a little bit. And I'm saying this with a grain of salt and with caution. So I know some of you skeptics out there and some of you guys who are just black and white about everything are wanting to challenge me or just grinding your teeth right now, and that's okay. You can share your experience too, but what I'm sharing with my experience and what I'm literally seeing in my tank right now, you can't lie about the pictures, right? Go back a few months, look at the corals from a few months ago when my nutrients were near zero, and look at the corals now when I've got my nutrients up. So I just got my nutrients up. I tested my nitrates again tonight. They're 6.1, and my phosphates are 0.03. So I'm working on getting those up. But yeah, we're definitely, and that's because I am running GFO. And I'm just going to let this batch of GFO exhaust itself and probably just let it keep going, because for a little while it'll still pull a little bit out maybe. But yeah, I think I'm convinced that I'm just not going to run GFO. I'm just going to do a heavy out on the skimmer until I dial in the nutrients and make them stable. And I think that's what we're going to go with. So, but yeah, so look at my tank now that I've raised the nutrients up. And my goal is to hit nitrates right about 7.5 to maybe 8. So I'd say 7 to 8 is where I'd really like to lock it in for a month or two at least and see what happens. Now let me say this again, and this was a sign of hope when I heard someone else share this. You guys, I'm not kidding when I tell you that when I started dosing nitrates and feeding heavier, within 24 hours I noticed a difference in some of my corals. Now the color was very subtle difference in color. But what I noticed is that some of these acans here, and this acan that's pooping right now was always like this. It never, ever was opening up and fluffing out. And same with this one, it got to the point where it wasn't opening up much. And I was very unhappy. Oh, that coral just fell. Right before the video, I knocked this frag rack on accident. You can see the snails tipped over too. But, oh great, what was I saying? It's like, oh, shiny thing, huh? Where? What? But, oh yeah, so these guys, they just weren't open. And when I started dosing nitrates and started feeding heavier, so neonitro, It's the, if you see in the bottom there, it says, come on, focus. Stronger formula. Woo! Round of applause. But I did notice a difference, and within 1 week, I thought it was almost like a new tank, and that's how big of a difference it made. So, and my nutrients, I mean, if you're just having little swings in your nutrients, and you're going from 10 parts per million nitrates down to 1 part per million in the next week, and then you bring it back up to 10, you're probably not going to notice a huge difference. But if you were running your tank at ultra low nutrients for a prolonged period of time, again, I can almost guarantee if you raise your nutrients, you're going to see some more color. And the corals are going to have a different pop to them than what you're used to. But just know that it comes at the compromise of a little tiny bit slower growth. And you can ask the guys at BRS, they did a study on that, and actually tank trials, and there's a lot of truth to that. So and I get it, every tank is different, not every tank is the same, not every coral is the same, but that's the general consensus right now. And so yeah, anyways, that's kind of what I've learned regarding nutrients. Now, please, you guys, don't just run to your tank and just be like, oh, another guy has confirmed it, that's it, I'm just gonna skyrocket my nutrients. Please, please, please have a plan. Or maybe your nutrients are already there and you're not seeing colors. That means you got to diagnose what's going on with your tank, and maybe it's a different issue. We can talk about that in a different video. We can address that in a different video for a different time. But this is if your water is healthy and your nutrients are ultra low, and you want to raise your nutrients and see what happens to coral coloration. Have a plan. Write it down if you need to. Think about it. Do your research, do your homework, know what you're going to dose, know how much you're going to dose. And so with the Neo Nitro, I was dosing 2 capfuls a day. 1 capful in the morning, 1 in the evening for the first almost 2 weeks. And then I went up to 2 capfuls in the morning and 1 in the evening. So once you get your plan figured out and you decide that's what you want to try, then go ahead, and if you want, you can even start a little slower. In fact, I would recommend it, right? This hobby really is about patience. And yeah, if you guys have questions, please ask. I appreciate your kindness in the way that you pose questions. We don't have to agree on everything. This is just my channel. This is just some stuff that I feel comfortable sharing with the reefing community now, and hope that it helps some of you guys. Maybe you're in this place. And again, I want to do more videos addressing more common concerns or issues that people have had. And yeah, I'm so excited. Guys, I just ordered today a new camera, the GoPro Hero 9. And I got like a little cool bundle with it. So it comes with like a micro SD chip, 64 gigabytes, and some cool lenses and some cool stuff. And man, I'm just so excited, you guys. You can actually put it underwater. I know, it's like, duh, that's what the GoPro is known for, being able to go underwater and put it on your head while you ride a bike or something. But I really am excited. You know, I've been wanting to. Let me just shut these off quick. So here's how easy it is to turn off your flow with these Jabo wave makers. Remember, we did a video not too long ago about best reef tank equipment for the cheapest price. And man, the controllability of these controllers is really, really simple. Now I'm gonna come down here. And you see my jungle gym of cords. First I'm going to unplug the protein skimmer so it doesn't overflow. Then I'm going to shut the pumps off. There's our corals down in the sump. Boy, that rock flower is looking good. Keep hoping that he'll split or something, but we got that rainbow carpet maxi mini. Some cool corals in the sump. Alright guys, let me grab my little, this is my stool. Also happens to be one of my son's favorite toys, and look at this. When he gets up on that, all of a sudden he can reach the frag racks. No touching. We tell him that all the time. So here we are, little top-down action. That one coral, that hammer over here, it's like a purple, and then it's got gold patches. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if you're still watching, what your thoughts are on that guy. I can't even remember where I got it from now. Oh, I think I got it from Unique Corals. They sold it as just a branching hammer, but it was one head of it, and it was like $100 on one of their sales. And it was a little bit more expensive than you'd think for that, but now I'm starting to see why. And it's like almost 5 heads, but yeah, some of this is really doing well. You'll see in a second why I'm so excited for the GoPro, because look at these corals. Man, top down is always so pretty. Try to hold it as still as possible. Some people have given me some good advice, and one common thing that I see said is slow down when you're videotaping the corals. Let us see them for a second. And I thought, that's great advice, because when I watch other people's videos, man, half of what you're doing watching the videos, you just want to see the coral. That's a really nice, pretty pink. It always is a different world from the top of the tank, isn't it? There's the fish of Hex. Oh yeah, man, I love Fish of Hex. That guy, he keeps it real. He's very down to earth. We both have been in the military, so connected that way. Even got the guy's phone number. I'm hoping that one time in the future we'll maybe do like a live chat together or something. I feel like that'd be cool. If you guys think that'd be cool, let them know. Tell him Aquatic Bob's is on the prowl. Look at the circus freak coming to town. Jeez. Just in the last week. Okay, so I got my nutrients up, and then I was like, oh man, you know, and this is where experience comes into play, is I got my nutrients up, and all of a sudden I was like, man, they're so high, I need to get this under control. And so I started dosing a carbon source. I started dosing biofuel. Not much, just a little bit. But before I knew it, it had been a week and a half of dosing biofuel a little bit every day. I checked my nutrients, and my nitrates had dropped all the way back down to 0.6 or something like that, I think. And I was like, geez. So just another example of how, you know, it's like, if we're gonna do something, we gotta follow through, make sure that we're testing. That was an error on my part, and I really should have been testing more. Look at that shot right there. Boy, let's see if I can make it. That is a pretty shot. Just cool. What a gift to have this in our living rooms, huh? What an expensive gift to have in our living rooms. But, yeah, I know I'm all over the place, but I know we're going to get back to Fish of Hex, but also, you know, keeping an eye on where everything's at. So I stopped the biofuel, and now I am back to, I don't even dose nitrates, I'm just feeding very heavy. And I know that's what a lot of you recommended. is feed heavy, and you can see my cyano at the bottom, and it's slowly but surely disappearing. Like, the entire bottom of my tank was covered not too long ago, and some of the rocks were covered and everything, but now it's really gone away. So and you can see I just cleaned the glass, but here's a spot I didn't get. So keep an eye on it, right? We all know it. Just a simple reminder. If you're gonna do something, make sure you test, make sure you keep an eye on it. This worldwide corals jelly bean chalice is insane. But yeah, so Fish of Hex, if you ever watch this video, I appreciate you, man. And I know you're just gonna call me a suck up or something, but that's okay. That's why I appreciate you. And if you guys haven't checked him out, check him out. Fish of Hex. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got his own website. He does 3D printing, 3D imaging, and sells coral. He's got a little bit of everything, and some of the best prices, honestly, for coral. He's definitely not out to scam you. Like, unfortunately, I really don't want to say this, but I feel very disappointed with cornbread corals. You know, again, these two corals right here, in the picture, their brightness was like that. And then I got them, and they were half this bright. And I was like, wow. But even after being in my tank for a couple of weeks, they're getting a little bit brighter. So I'm wondering, maybe they do get all the way back to that bright, but I've never had a Bower Banky shipped to me that lost all of its color and browned out. So, and for both of them to do it, that would be a first. And they're very expensive. But man, do those guys Photoshop their pictures and edit their pictures big time. And I almost feel like that's, yeah, I know, you got a business and you got to sell some coral, but something about that just seems like it's crossing, you know, they're very business minded. Let me just put it like that. They're absolutely business minded. I don't know how much they support local hobbyists. I can't speak to that, but from the appearance of it, they're just business minded. So, and be careful if you do buy coral from them, especially on eBay, because they post a picture of a really beautiful coral and it says frag on it, but they don't actually send you that coral. Can't believe how many times I've had people say, I ordered a coral and it wasn't the one pictured. And even sometimes it says what you see is what you get, you know, the WYSISG. And I've heard stories, a lot of stories about people ordering what you see is what you get and not actually getting what the picture is. So just be careful, because there's sellers out there that really are just interested in your money. And you know, we all in the hobby care about money, right? Nobody likes just throwing money away or throwing it around casually. We want to invest our money right. And even with me starting up this business, I need to make money. Like, we are not a wealthy family by any means. You look at my tank and might think that we were, but this is all because I've invested in starting a business. And some of this coral is growing out now. Hopefully I'll be able to start a business and sell some coral, and that's what I love doing. That's what I want to do. So I get it. As much as the next guy, we have to make some money, and it's got to be profitable. We can't just buy a coral and turn around and sell that same coral for the same price, right? I know, you know, there's a few people listening that have gotten salty with me because it's like, no, I have to make something off this. And especially people that I've helped out so much, like I'm not going to go there. But I got frustrated the other night. Someone let it go too much to their head and just kind of made a good friendship sit on the rocks for a little bit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, anyways, that's what money can do. So again, I want to be held accountable by you guys. I'm not in it just to make some money. I want to have good relationships. I want to have good customer service and good experience to share, as well as be able to provide for my family and take care of myself, my family, and the business. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm just rambling like crazy. If you've watched the video to this point and you're not subscribed, I think you owe us both the favor and the pleasure of subscribing to the channel. I'm just gonna keep making videos. You don't have to worry about me going stagnant. I'm gonna keep making videos, so please, guys, subscribe to the channel. Please give a thumbs up, and if you do give a thumbs down, that's fine, but I do ask that you let me know why. So thanks for watching, guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, hopefully with the GoPro Hero 9. Aquatic Bob's out.